Hey there, I'm James, coffee educator here at Driftaway. Welcome to Coffee Stories for December 2021. These are coffees that you can start roasting on December 2nd, and the last day to order is gonna be December 29th. I'm in the middle of brewing a Chemex, as you can see, and it's a Chemex of the balance profile for this month. It's a coffee that is a collection of 4 different farmers' lots, and they're all women producers, all women coffee farmers. They grow coffee in the Minas region of Brazil and in the southern part of Minas. And we call this coffee Brazil Dona do Café Natural. And first of all, the Brazil, pretty obvious. That's why we named it Brazil. It's from the country of Brazil, right? Donas do Café, let's talk about that for a second. Donas do Café is Portuguese for the women owners of coffee, right? The Dons, let's say. So Donas. So this coffee is, as I said, a collection of the coffees from 4 women who are producing coffee, just extraordinary coffee in this area. And actually, the presence of women farmers in Brazil and specialty coffee has really exploded over the past few years. So you're really seeing more and more farms, being run by women, managed by women, named after women. And the 4 producers have 4 separate farms, of course, right? Adriana Bueno is one. Paloma Bueno, I don't think there's a direct relation. Ana Vanessa Carvalho and Andrea Oliveira. Yeah, trying. All right, so let's start with just, the first farmer, Andrea Bueno. What's neat about her is that she actually, she grew up in coffee. It's a huge farm. It's like 680 something hectares, which is like 1,600 acres, and they have over 4,000 coffee trees. But what's neat about her story, a part of her story, is that she inherited this farm at the age of 12. Her father was like, you are going to be the one to run this farm. She obviously had to grow up first, so he did run it for a while, and with her as well. And she went away to pharmacy school, came back, and then started running it full time. And the thing we know is that, when she came back, she was able to actually triple the size of the farm, through also what she learned about coffee cultivation and just her organization. She also really upped the quality of the coffee. So yeah, an exciting coffee to have in this melange, if you will. The second coffee farm is called Sítio Douradinha, which is run by Paloma Bueno. Again, same last name, not sure of the relation. But as with all of these women, coffee farming really goes back in their families for generations. So her parents and her grandparents also farmed coffee, and her great-grandparents as well, too. And this farm is I believe it's the smallest of all 4. It's just about 116 acres or 47 hectares. And she is running this farm with her husband. And one neat thing about her is that she's been researching and experimenting with different methods of processing coffee. And that leads me on a little short road, and I'll come back. Processing coffee, just to explain, is just how the coffee gets out of the fruit that it grows in, right? The coffee bean that we want is the seed of a fruit. So how does it get out, right? And this, the name of this coffee has natural in it. So that means that it's a naturally processed coffee. And that just means that the coffee was harvested, and instead of the fruit separating from the seed right away after harvest, it actually gets laid out to dry. It dries, the seed dries inside the fruit. Yes. And then it, after like 3 to 6 weeks, it's dried, it's ready to get cracked open, and then they can get at the seeds inside. Naturally processed coffee tends to be more fruity and will taste kind of more like berries than non-natural, which natural is a weird kind of word for it because it's not like the other kinds of processes are unnatural, you know? Other words for natural processing, sun-dried also is another name for it. The third farm that contributed to this lot of coffee is from Ana Vanessa Carvalho. And her farm is just outside the town of Caldas, again, in the southern part of Minas. And she also grew up in a coffee producing family, kind of same as the others. And she runs her own farm. And she's, you know, as with all of these women, looking to constantly improve the quality of the coffee that she grows, harvests, and processes, right? And she's also looking for ways to get more resources, not just for her own farm, but her neighbors and all the small farms in the area. So yeah, and then the last coffee that contributed to this coffee, to this lot, is from Andrea Oliveira, and she runs Fazenda Cantagalo, which very roughly translated by me and Google means something like singing rooster farm. So yes, that really brings up a really great image for me. So singing rooster farm. This farm has been, well, you know, Andrea herself has, again, come from a long line of coffee growers. You know, I mean, Brazil and coffee, you know, even for me in the United States, it's like they go hand in hand, right? So it's hard to even not think about, you know, coffee growing back in several generations in Brazil. It just seems like a pretty common thing if you have a coffee farm. And she now owns and manages that family coffee farm that she grew up on with her brother. And she also is super interested in kind of every aspect of growing, harvesting, processing, and just making sure that every one of those stages is dialed in so that we can get a high quality, good tasting coffee at the end. And it's been so awesome to be able to showcase the work of these women and also have so much information about them. Like the postcard for this coffee has actual photos of them, kind of, you know, it's sometimes a little harder to get photos of all of the people who grow and harvest the coffee. So that's really nice, and also to have their stories, their family stories. And you know, we roast this to a light medium roast for the balance profile. So we're taking it a little darker than the fruity profile, but the balanced profile is going to have acidity, it's going to have fruit flavor, and it's also going to have something kind of sweeter to balance it out. And so for that coffee, we've got papaya and strawberry. Strawberry is no surprise given that it's a natural processed coffee, and also milk chocolate. So it's a super delicious coffee. I can't wait to get a mug and drink it. I can smell it already. And this has been this beautiful Brazilian coffee. Brazil Donas do Café Natural. You know, again, we start roasting it. You can start ordering it December 2nd, and the last day to order is December 29th. If you want even more information than everything that I just said, which seems like a lot, is there more information than this? Yes, go to the website, go to the page on our website for this coffee. It's driftaway.coffee/BDN. Cool. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next month.